business communication and Covey's proactivity model as a tool to initiate personal growth and improved communication in the business environment. According to Covey's model of proactivity, we are conditioned to respond in a specific way when confronted by a particular stimulus, but he explains that two of the most powerful tools we have to our disposal is self-awareness and free will to choose how we respond. Both can be used towards better business communication. To illustrate this, let me introduce you to Vusi, a 25-year-old software developer busy specializing as a data security specialist at F&B. He holds a degree in IT and graduated from NWU not too long ago and keeps sensitive data away from users and hackers. Meet Talia, Vusi's mentor and experienced workmate, logging just over 7 years in the same department. Vusi and his team members sent their team leader the most recent drafts of the project they worked on until 3 days ago. They're waiting for feedback while planning the launch of the updates. Vusi just received an invitation to a group meeting on Teams. The topic, you guessed right, feedback on the group project from his team leader. The meeting starts at noon. Just the meeting started, Vusi received feedback from John. He's a bit more experienced, but also the big city guy and Wits graduate who boasts about his honors. He also messes with Vusi for having grown up in Lichtenberg, being the small town Okie, who went to NWU in the Boondoes, as John would say. But John doesn't know that Vusi was bullied by his cousins who went to private school in the city, and that they are very arrogant for having graduated cum laude from UCT. They always mock and tease Vusi. John's actions were unprofessional, but he had no insight into his actions. Vusi, on the other hand, had a ton of triggers and acted towards growing from within by developing self-awareness. But his new super skill was still underdeveloped, and just to hear John's feedback made his heart rate spike and his breathing got shallow and fast. His perceptions and judgments got clouded. Vusi couldn't control his next action and typed a very reactive response, defending his ideas. But instead, Sheila, the team leader, supported John's comments and suggested 5 more areas of code that Vusi could improve on. Vusi felt defeated. He let the situation take control of him. He felt belittled and victimized. He couldn't see that his colleagues spoke about his code and not about him. He focused on why they gave feedback instead of what the feedback said. Vusi was furious and sent a telegram message filled with angst and anger to Talia, asking for support. Instead, she gave him words of wisdom. Talia knew of Vusi's history, and she reminded him to focus on the team-building event where they learned about mindfulness, breathing skills, and Covey's model of proactivity. Vusi took note and shifted his focus towards proactive self-talk instead of reactive responses. He took 5 deep, slow breaths, reminding him of the positive of the feedback as he inhaled, and as he slowly exhaled, he imagined ridding himself of the negative emotions that were part of his reactive default response from his past experiences. As he regained control of his reactions, he raised his hand by pressing on the icon to have his microphone unmuted. I need to apologize and admit that your suggestions will improve the security of the user's data. I will make the corrections and send the results in due course. Sheila acknowledged his response and thanked him in the direct message after the meeting for the growth in character he showed as a junior developer, and reminded him to stay open-minded. Vusi's actions ultimately reflected Covey's model of proactivity. he had insight in his initial response and made a change towards being proactive. In conclusion, business communication is a term used for all messages that we send and receive for official purposes from within and outside a business, and is marked by formality, according to Ali. To elaborate on this, Long states that in order to communicate effectively at the workplace, one needs to listen, be friendly, be open-minded, open to feedback, be confident, and lastly, be aware of non-verbal communication. Covey states that in order to achieve effective communication, a person must become more self-aware. When a person becomes more self-aware, they become more confident and creative. Both these qualities are important in a work or business setting. It's important to understand that self-awareness can be divided into external and internal self-awareness, according to Long. Internal self-awareness is an awareness of our own values, passions, aspirations, fit with our environment, our reactions in terms of thought, feelings, behaviors, our strengths and weaknesses, and our impact on others. External self-awareness is to understand how people view us in terms of the factors listed above. The way we act must reflect what we believe. This opens us up to others' perspective and enables a person to be more empathetic. True self-awareness is a delicate balance between both. When we reach self-awareness in both ways, it enables us to focus on the what of a situation and not the why. Like in Vusi's case, his focus was more on why his colleagues gave the feedback they did, but eventually he moved to what steps he can take to become a better team member. This mindset moves an individual towards seeking solutions instead of focusing on unproductive patterns of the past. This can guide a person towards improved communication in the business environment.